Now we are going into the important thing that is called as Hadoop ecosystem. So how Hadoop ecosystem works is, the Hadoop ecosystem works like this. We have layers. This is one layer, this is another, and we have another layer, and this is another layer. So I have 4 layers like this. How this ecosystem works and how it provides the service to us, let us see. And the most important information is, we have 5 units, as I told you in the beginning of the session. This is one chapter, one unit, and this is another unit. We don't have a Mahout. We have one more unit that is called as a MR, map reduce coding, that is called as a. We have a last unit that is called as HBase. So we have 4 units, and the first unit which is called as an introduction unit. So how this works is, let us see them individually and in detail. Let us take the example of Oozie. What is a Oozie is? Oozie is nothing but it is a workflow machine. It decides which job has to be given more priority, which job has to be given less priority, what kind of jobs has to be assigned to what kind of nodes, what kind of cluster likewise. So that is about the Oozie. Once you learn the Hadoop, you will become as a Hadooper, and to settle in the market, in the software industries, you can settle as a 3 ways. That is called as a Hadoop administrator, Hadoop testers, and Hadoop programmers. So if you are very well versed with Oozie, you can settle as a Hadoop administrator. But the job opportunity for the administrator will be very less, because there will be very few administrators. That is why more focus we need to keep on the programming part. So that is about the scheduling mechanism we call as a. If you are aware of operating system, how scheduling happens, the same job is done by the Apache Oozie. Yeah. The next layer comes to the Hive, Pig, and Mahout. What is your Hive is, Hive and Pig acts like a 2 eyes in the Hadoop system. What are they is, whenever you want to perform an immediate analysis, as I said to you that we have a large amount of big data is there, and my boss asked me to perform the analysis immediately. Just he gave me 1 hour of time, and I supposed to perform the analysis very quickly. Today, if I put my products into the market, how much production, how much profit I am going to get. After that analysis, he want to release. So that is the job given by me, by my boss. So I can't write my programming aspects and all. It takes me at least half day or nearly 1 day of time. So to perform that job, I am going to make use of Hive. That is called as what? Data warehousing system. And we have a one mechanism that is called as we have a HQL, that is called as a Hive query language. Like how we have a SQL there, in the same fashion we have a Hive query language, where you can simply make use of query and all, and happily you can perform the analysis. Right. The another part is Pig Latin. So Pig Latin is also, you don't require any scripting, you don't require any high programming knowledge, you just require a normal scripting mechanism. So with that also you can perform the data analysis. That is why, as I said you that I have treated them as with 2 eyes, because just imagine that snake is going on, immediately action is you are going to do is immediately you are going to jump to save yourself. So to perform the quick analysis, I am going to make a Hive and Pig. The next component is called as Mahout. What is a Mahout is, it's a Sanskrit word. The person who rides the elephant is a Mahout. And the duty of the Mahout is nothing but it is going to control what kind of algorithm has to apply, what kind of algorithm is going to produce a better results. So that is going to be done by the Mahout, that is called as a machine learning we call as a. That is why there is a combination of big data with a combination of machine learning, with a combination of artificial intelligence, combination of deep learning, which makes all together as a data science. Yes. The next layer comes for the MapReduce framework. It is very, very important part of the Hadoop ecosystem. It acts as a heartbeat. As in the previous slide, I have told you that whether my node, that means my cluster is working or not, what I am going to do is, my name node will be getting a heartbeat. From this node, the heartbeat is not getting, means this node is not working. something might happen. What happened? There is a failure of hardware. So immediately that job will be replaced to another place. So this kind of heartbeat is going to be provided by MapReduce. So we will be writing a programming, MR coding will be done. Map is a separate phase and reduce is a separate phase. So we'll be writing a programming, and that programming I'll be running on these nodes. Right? We have a facility called as a data locality. The meaning of data locality is nothing but wherever the data is there, I'll be keeping the data there itself only, rather than moving the data, because moving the data is more costlier than moving the algorithm. So I will be sending the algorithm, here because my data is available here. Master node will not keep any data. Data node only keeps the data. So my algorithm, I'll be sending the algorithm here. Why I am sending the algorithm? Because my data is available here. So my algorithm will perform the analysis here. My algorithm will perform the analysis here. My algorithm will perform the analysis here. How do I write my algorithm? I write my algorithm by using the MapReduce. That is called as MR coding. What about the hive and pig here? You don't write any coding here. So you will be very happy that I don't require any coding. Yes, you will be very happy as long as you will be working with hive and pig. But when the scenario comes for MR coding, you need to write large coding either by using Java programming, either by using Python programming. So people who are good knowledge towards Java programming and Python programming, they can do good programming using the MR. Even though you don't write programming on hive, on pig, internally the Hadoop runs the MR coding. That is the speciality of the MapReduce. Here also you are not writing any code of the MR. You are just writing a hive query language. You are just writing a query. Here you are writing a script. But internally MR coding is running. That is why it is called as the heart of the Hadoop ecosystem. That is why it is called as the heart of the Hadoop ecosystem. Right. You can see here, we have another phase that is called HBase. As I said to you that Uzi is just like your brain, which do all the workflow and the scheduling process. Hive and pig is just your two eyes. And of course, that is a separate part which comes under your administration and algorithm parting. And your MapReduce is the heart of your machine. That means any part of the organs fails in your body, you may live for some time, but if heart itself fails, you can't. So that is why it is the important part of the Hadoop ecosystem. This HBase is something like a stomach where you store all your food and all. Similarly, here also this HBase, it stores all your structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, whatever data you put it, it will take it. And all these things are managed under the HDFS. It is the pillar of the Hadoop ecosystem. So all these things will be managed under Hadoop distributed file system. So already we have seen in the previous slides, the HDFS consists of two important components. That is called as your Hadoop consists of two important components. That is your HDFS and YARN. So HDFS is basically for maintaining of all these eco components, storage, all these things. So that is about your Hadoop eco components. When you see about remaining two components, Flume and Scoop, you say that I am a owner of one company and I am not aware of this unstructured data, and suddenly I am getting lot of image files, video files, and lot of barcoding generation is getting on, lot of thumb images information I am getting on, like that. So my organization has to change my policies now. So what I am going to do that is, I want to apply this Hadoop mechanism in my organization. So what I'll do, I don't know all these things, but I'm having so much of data, I want to process it now. So what I will do is, there is no need to implement all these mechanisms, just they'll be passing the data to me. For that purpose, let us take this scoop. What is a scoop is, whenever you have a structured data only and you want to perform the analysis of structured data, I'm going to import it. It is scoop is nothing but for importing and exporting of structured data which is available outside of Hadoop ecosystem. That means the organization or the company is not aware of Hadoop software, but they are just managing the data. For that purpose, for such peoples, they can make use of Scoop, They can import the data. Once the data is imported, I can perform the analysis either by writing MR coding or by using Hive or by using Pig, and I will be giving the analysis report. If the organization is giving me unstructured data, for example, video files is there, tweeters are there. For example, let us take the example, I'm having, before releasing of a movie, the star wants, the producer, director wants whether my movie is going to be hit or not. I want to find out. So there will be a, in the movie phase, there will be a trailer will be there. By seeing the trailer release, they want to say whether my movie will be good or not. So that can be done by using various posts, by the tweeters, by the various views on the trailers, etc. So they are all your unstructured data. So these unstructured data I am going to import by using the Flume. So Flume is one eco component. And this Flume component, I am going to put it, using this Flume, I am going to take this unstructured data and I am going to analysis by using the Hive or Pig or MR. So these two components, that is called the Flume or Scoop components, which can be used for importing and exporting that unstructured data and semi-structured data which is available outside the Hadoop ecosystem. So in this fashion, the Hadoop ecosystem works, and this will be our separate unit, and this will be our separate unit, this will be our separate unit, and this will be our separate unit. Flume and Scoop will be just taught in an additional manner. But we will be not learning about the Mahout as it is an administrative part. It is a Hadoop administration course we call as a, which you will be learning in a different phase. Right, we have a Annie Gott again. So Annie is interested to ask about the questions. So Annie is asking a question, that is, Hadoop is a framework that allows for distributed processing of small data sets or large data sets. So what is the answer for that? So as already in our previous slides, as I told you that the Hadoop distributed file system works on both large as well as small. But the power of the Hadoop you can see when you apply the large data sets. So that is the answer here. Thank you so much.